Hey guys, and welcome to the November edition of What's New in the Library. I hope you're having a great month. I hope you're saving room in your tummy for Thanksgiving, because that is, of course, one of the most fun parts of this month. So let's talk about some good books to read. I want to share with you 3 books that I have read over the last couple of months to show you kind of some new stuff we have in the library. The first one we're going to look at is called Book Scavenger. And this one reminded me a lot of Mr. Limoncello's Library, for those of you who remember that one from being on the Mark Twain list a few years ago. This one is about a girl whose family moves to San Francisco, and she's super excited because her favorite author lives there. And he does this cool thing where he hides books in weird places, and you have to follow all these clues all over the city to find the books. And she's really into it. She can't wait to get to San Francisco and start tracking down these books, except the author gets attacked. And she and her best friend start looking for clues because the next clue isn't coming out because he's been attacked. And they get involved in solving the crime and figuring out what's going on and looking for the books. So this is the first book in a new series, and the cover even looks a little bit like Mr. Limoncello's Library. So anyway, great new action book. Not young adult or anything. This one's called The Book Scavenger. The next one, if you follow us on Instagram, then you already saw this one because I posted not long ago when it came in. This one's called Zoe in Wonderland. And it's the story of Zoe, whose family owns an exotic plant business. And she's really a neat kid. She's really unique and outgoing, but she feels like she's kind of lost in the world. And one day, a strange astronomer shows up at her family's business, and she gets kind of intrigued and wants to see what's going on in the world outside of her little place where she lives, and she wants to go on these adventures. This is the story of Zoe, who is kind of trying to find herself and figure out who she is in a world where she doesn't think she quite fits in. Again, this one's called Zoe in Wonderland, and the author, Brenda Woods, has won the Coretta Scott King Award before, which is an award you win for writing a book with diversity in it. So, really neat book from a really great new author. So check out Zoe in Wonderland. The final book I'm going to be talking about today is the new April Henry book. So if you've read Girl Stolen, or The Girl Who Was Supposed to Die, or The Night She Disappeared, or The Body in the Woods, or one of her other great murder mysteries, this is her newest book. It's called The Girl I Used to Be. And I finished it just yesterday. And this book is a murder mystery about a girl who, when she was 3, both of her parents were murdered, and she was there. But she doesn't remember anything. And the murderer dropped her off at a Walmart and disappeared, and they have no idea who killed him. She's thought her whole life that it was her dad who killed her mom, and she kind of bounced around in foster care and has had a really kind of tough life because both of her parents were murdered. Well, the book starts out with her running for her life through the woods because someone's trying to kill her, and then it stops and goes back several weeks and starts telling the story of how she ended up being chased by a murderer in the woods. It is awesome. So it's such a page turner. Wait till you find out what actually happened to her parents and who the real murderer was. So totally a great read, not young adult, totally okay for anyone. Again, this is The Girl I Used to Be by April Henry. Let's hear from some students, see what they've been reading.
Hi, I'm Isaac. I'm in 5th grade in Miss Buell's class, and this is a really good book. It's called The Murders in the Rue Merge. It's about a mystery of someone who got murdered, and what it's trying to get you to do is figure out what you think that did it. And you'll figure it out whenever you read the book.
I'm Charles, and I'm in 5th grade. I will be telling about the new book, DOGMAN, coming to the library. At first, there was a dog named Greg and his owner, Officer Knight. But Officer Knight was strong, but very dumb. And Greg was smart, but weak. So when they went to defuse a bomb one day, they didn't know how to, so it blew up in their face. And Greg's body was dying, and Officer Knight's head was dying. So the nurse came up with an idea to sew Greg's head onto Officer Knight's body, and that made DOGMAN.
Hi, my name is Jason McMillan, and I like the book Codename Zero because it's a really interesting book, and it starts out with this kid named Ben, and he starts out as the school prankster, and then he becomes part of the secret agency. And yeah, well, I recommend this book because it's a really funny and sometimes mysterious book.
This book is The Grand Legacy by Polly Schumann. It's about a girl who her life's kind of frozen. At this point, she doesn't really have any friends. Her dad kind of ignores her. She has a terrible stepmom and stepsisters. Her mom's gone. And she has to do the school project. Well, her teacher recommends she goes to a lending library near where she lives, and she ends up getting a job there. Well, she finds out while she works there that there's a secret room for certain patrons who can check them out with actual magical items from the Grimm stories. Oh yeah, so stuff keeps going missing, and along with a patron who has gone, not patron, a helper has gone missing as well. So she and her friends have to come together and try to figure it out. It's a really great book, and I really recommend it.
Oh, hey, I forgot you were there. So I wanted to remind you that you can read ebooks from our library for free on your phone or tablet. So make sure you check out the orange flyer outside of the library, and it will tell you how to download ebooks. We have over 30, like about 35 ebooks that you can read on your phone, just like I'm doing right now, from our library, and we're adding more every month. So make sure you are finding every way possible to read a good book. This month we got in the sequel to Loot. This one is Sting. New book by Kate Messner, The Seventh Wish. The sequel to Pennyroyal Academy, this one is called The Shadow Cadets of Pennyroyal Academy. Seraphina and the Black Cloak, another one requested by Miss Otto. Book 5 in the Big Fat Zombie Goldfish series, this one is Live and Let Swim. Book 6 in the Michael Bay series, Fall of Hades. A new Casey West romance book, P.S. I Like You. The sequel to Forget Tomorrow, a great new science fiction series we have. This one's called Remember Yesterday. The third book in the Chain series by Lori Halls Anderson. This one is Ashes. Newest book by Dave Pilkey, Dogman. You heard about this one earlier in the show. New book by Jordan Sonnenbluck, who wrote Curveball: The Year I Lost My Grip, Zen and the Art of Faking It, and After Ever After. This one is Falling Over Sideways. Great new horror that is not young adult. This one is Shadow House. And finally, the second book in the new Magnus Chase series by Rick Riordan. This one is The Gods of Asgard.